know the name of this club?
I mean, I know the name now. It's Teasers.
At the time, did you know the name?
No.
Why did you not know the name at the time?
I mean, it was kind of irrelevant. I didn't remember. We didn't go in it, so.
You did not go in the club, but why did you go there?
We're thinking about going in there.
All right. Whose idea was it to go to this place?
Isaiah.
And did you follow his idea?
Yeah, he said he was taking me out.
Did you have any reason to think that he was doing anything wrong or illegal?
At the time, no.
When you got to this club, did you all park?
Yes.
And where did you park?
I believe it was the back of the parking lot.
Was that the only space available at the time?
Yes.
And were you driving?
No.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. At any point in time during that night, did you drive the vehicle?
No.
When you get out of the vehicle, what happens?
We start walking, then he stops me and say, "Let me see your phone."
Do you give him the phone?
Yes.
At the time, do you think anything of it?
No. I mean, he always has it.
Did he ask you for the code to get in?
Yeah.
And did you give him the code?
Yeah, I did.
All right. Do you know what he did with the phone?
He tried to make a call, I guess. He had it up, but I didn't hear what he was saying.
All right, so let me talk to you about this. Is it weird or strange, anything out of the ordinary, for Isaiah Chance to use your phone to make phone calls?
No.
Had he done that before in the past?
Yes.
Had he spoken to Robert Howard using your phone before?
Yes.
Had he spoken to other individuals using your phone before?
Yes.
Do you know why?
No, but I assumed it's maybe because he don't want him to have his number.
When he would speak to individuals on your phone, would he always speak around you?
No.
Would he sometimes leave the room?
Yeah.
All right. And do you question him about why he's using your phone or why he's leaving the room?
No.
Why not?
I mean, it wasn't really a big deal to me at first.
So back to the parking lot at Teasers. I'm going to publish State Exhibit 41. And this is 41B, I believe 7. 8. All right, do you recognize this parking lot area?
Yes.
Do you recognize the car that's the silver car there, the top of the screen?
Yes.
What car is that?
That's the car we were in.
At this time, do you know where the other 3 boys are at?
No, I don't.
Do you care about where the other 3 boys are at?
Your object to
No.
calling the co-defendants boys.
Sustain the objection.
Do you know where the other 3 men were at?
No,
And do you care where these other 3 men were at?
no.
All right. Do you remember what's happening inside the car at this time?
I think we were just sitting there talking at first.
All right. And again, you're not driving this vehicle?
No.
Is there a reason why you have on a mask in this video?
Yeah, I was pregnant at the time, so I didn't want to smell any smoke and prevent like any health issues.
Why did you think that you might inhale smoke?
Because usually the clubs in my city, like the lounges, as soon as you go in, they let you smoke, so it'd be a lot of smoke in there. I didn't know how it was down here, but just in case, I wore one.
All right. Did you wear a mask to conceal your identity?
No,
Did you have on a hoodie?
no.
What did you have on?
Some blue jeans, a blue jacket, and a regular shirt.
All right. What type of shoes did you have on?
Some like regular Crocs I designed.
Crocs, almost like slippers?
Yeah,
Those are not boots or anything that you could use to run in?
no. They're like the fancy ones where you get to put the things in them. I don't know what they call them.
When you say thing, you mean the pins in the top of the shoe?
Yeah, like you get to put what you want to put on them.
Okay. Are you and Mr. Chance getting out of the car now?
Yes.
Does Mr. Chance tell you that he's going to this club so he can find Julio Fulio?
No, he didn't.
If you can remember sort of what's happening in this moment, can you tell the members of the jury?
I was walking, and then he stopped me and said, "Let me see your phone."
At this time, are you trying to conceal your identity at all?
No,
Are you ducking or hiding or crouching behind any vehicles?
no, I'm just walking.
Are you stopping when he stops?
Yes,
And are you following him?
yes.
Do you know what he's doing with your phone?
At the time, I just assumed he was trying to call someone, and they wasn't answering.
Did he talk to anyone in that clip?
No,
Do you ultimately leave this location?
yes,
Do you go somewhere after that?
yes.
Where do you go after that?
It was another club called Players Club.
At the time, did you know the name of that location?
No,
And who decided to go to the second spot?
he picked it.
Did you know of any clubs in Tampa?
No,
When you got to the second location, what happened?
we get out, walk across the street, and he walked up to the guy that they work at the front door. And he asked him how much was to get in.
So at this second location, you said, who asked how much it is to get in?
Isaiah asked the bouncer.
And what happened when he asked?
I don't remember the exact words, but he told him a price, and I guess he didn't like the price, so he just walked off.
Did you all stay there for any period of time?
Yes.
It's a short period of time?
Yeah.
And when you didn't go into the second location, what were you thinking?
Nothing much, like maybe he just didn't want to go in.
Were you also wearing a were you also wearing a mask at the second location?
Yes.
Did you go somewhere else after that?
Yes.
Where'd you go next?
Truth 18.
At the time, did you know what Truth 18 was, the name of it?
No.
Did you know who was going to be there?
No.
Did you ask Isaiah a chance to go to Truth 18?
No, he picked that.
Did he ask you for permission to go there?
No.
When you get to Truth 18, what do you do?
We sit there first, then we get out. He just starts to walk. He still has my phone, so I just walk after him.
Okay. Do you know if he talks to anyone while he's on your phone?
Yeah.
Do you know what app he's using to communicate with individuals?
No, at the time I didn't know.
Do you know if he's talking on FaceTime with anyone?
I believe it was FaceTime that at that club that one time.
At Truth 18.
Yes.
And do you know who he was talking to at the time?
No.
When he's talking to the individual at Truth 18, there's a photograph that you've seen in evidence of the downstairs at Truth 18. Do you remember that photograph?
Yeah, I remember it.
All right. At the time that the photograph was taken, did you take the photograph?
No.
All right. From looking at it, what can you tell about that photograph?
I remember him flipping the camera because we came to a stop, and he said, like, man, he said that, man, this shit crowded. And he flipped the camera and was showing somebody on the phone.
Okay. Do you know who he was showing that on the phone?
No.
And when you say he was showing it on the phone, this is like he's showing it live?
Yes.
All right. And do you know how that live viewing became a screenshot photograph in your phone?
I think he just took a screenshot of it.
At the time, even though you didn't know exactly who he was talking to, did you, I guess, figure that it was one of the three men?
Yes, because he also said, where y'all at?
Did he say anything about Julio?
No.
Did he show you a firearm or anything like that?
No.
Did he say anything about wanting to kill Julio in front of you?
No.
Showing what's in evidence of State's Exhibit 44. Do you see this video?
Yes.
All right. Do you see yourself?
Yes.
All right. What is happening right here?
He's walking with the phone up,
Okay. And what are you doing?
just walking behind him.
All right. And do you know where he's going at this point in time?
No, I'm just following him.
Do you know why he's walking, where he's walking?
No, I never asked.
All right. Is this where you all are at? Is this kind of like in direct eyesight of the top of the staircase at Truth 18?
I don't know if right there, but I don't really remember that.
All right. And you see you walk towards the sign and then back towards the right?
Yes.
All right. when you were standing anywhere in that parking lot or on the sidewalk, were you able to see Julio Fulio?
No,
Do you know that he's even inside?
no,
And is Isaiah Chance saying anything on the phone that would give you an indication that Julio Fulio is inside?
no. I only actually heard him say the two things. He said that it was crowded and where y'all at.
Okay. After you leave from off the screen here, do you know what you're doing next?
We walk back down. He stops on somebody's car, still holding the phone, and I'm kind of just leaning on him talking.
When you say he stops on somebody's car, like whose car was it?
A random person.
So not like someone that he knew?
No.
And when you say he stops on, he's leaning on someone's car?
Yeah, like leaning back with the phone.
And you and Isaiah Chance are talking at this point in time?
Yes.
All right. Do you ask him why you're not going inside?
Well, I think I did, yeah.
And do you want to go inside at this point?
Not really.
Why not?
We already been to two places. It was getting late, so I didn't really care to go nowhere else. He chose that place.
All right. At this point, what do you want to do?
Get some food.
Even though you just ate maybe 3 hours earlier?
Yeah, it was McDonald's. Just some nuggets and fries.
All right. So were you still hungry?
Yes.
And at this time, you're still pregnant?
Yes.
After you leave Truth 18, do you go somewhere else?
Yes.
Do you know where you're headed after you leave Truth 18?
No, I mentioned food, so I assumed he was going to go get me food.
All right. What does he do when he leaves Truth 18? Does his behaviors change anything at all?
Yeah.
In what way?
I mean, he started to act weird. I'm like, where are we going? He drive off to, I believe it's a college campus. Showing, or about to show what's in evidence is State's Exhibit 24. Do you recognize this exhibit from earlier? Yes.
You ever been to this location before?
Yes.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. Before this incident,
Oh,
had you
well,
ever been
no,
there before?
that day, yeah.
And did you recognize this area when you were in that area?
No. All right. From this view, do you know which direction you came from? I think he was straight ahead.
It's like at the very top of the screen.
Yeah, I think so.
And again, who's driving at this point in time?
Isaiah.
When you come from the area where the top of the screen is at, which direction does he go in this intersection? Pause it. Pause it.
That's him turning
Press
right
the
there.
space bar. Back. All right. So you came from the top. How did you end up on this corner making this right here?
That's where he turned.
Well, how did you get on that street?
I mean, that's where he just went. I don't know.
Let me ask you differently. When you came from the top area of the screen, did he make a right at this intersection if you're actually in the vehicle?
Yeah.
He made a right there?
Yeah, like he went straight and turned.
All right. And then did he make a U-turn to get to where he's at now?
I believe so.
All right. Clear. And for sure, that's the cruise that you were in?
Yeah.
Just let it clear. All right. Now, the cruise is off camera right now. Is that correct?
Yes.
What happens when the cruise goes off camera?
He makes a stop in USF parking lot.
What does he do when he makes a stop?
He hops out of the car.
And when you say USF parking lot, is it in an actual parking lot that he stops the car?
No, it's like in the middle of the lot.
All right. So it's not in an actual space?
No.
When he hops, you said he gets out of the vehicle?
Yes.
All right. What does he do when he gets out of the vehicle?
He gets out my phone and he walks away.
He had your phone still?
Yes.
And you said he walked away from the vehicle.
Yes.
What did he do when he walked away from the vehicle?
I mean, I don't know what he's doing when he walks away, but he has the phone up. He just walked down.
All right. At this point, did you follow him?
No, I'm still in the car. He left the car on.
Why did you not follow him?
I didn't know he was getting out. He just came to a complete stop and hopped out.
All right. When he did that, did you think that that was strange?
Yeah.
Did you know at that time that he may be trying to kill someone?
No, I didn't.
Did he tell you that?
No.
After he hops out of the car, how long is he out of the car for?
I think it was like a couple minutes. It wasn't very long, though.
Does he get back in the car?
Yes.
When he gets back in the car, do you say anything to him?
No.
Why not?
I mean, I didn't know what to say.
All right. You see the cruise?
Yes.
And you see the red light.
Yes.
When he ran the red light, what was going on in your head?
Why is he driving crazy?
Did you say anything to him at that point in time?
Yeah, I'm like, where you going?
Did you look at him?
Yeah.
And what was he doing?
He just holding the phone up driving.
Was he talking to anyone?
No.
So why was he holding up the phone?
I think he was looking at something on the messages.
All right. Did you see the car go into that lot to the right?
No, I didn't see it.
All right. You see the car go into the lot to the
Yes.
right? At that time, did you know what he was doing?
No.
Do you know where he was going?
No.
All right, did he tell you to look out for anyone?
No, he didn't.
Did he tell you to identify where Julio was at?
No, he never told me that.
All right. And how long are you inside that parking lot there in that hotel?
It was very quick. He just turned around.
All right. Did he get out the car and talk to anyone?
No.
Did you get out the car and talk to anyone?
No.
And then after you leave that parking lot, what happens?
He drives off to like 2 streets over.
Well, okay. Do you hear anything?
Yeah, I heard shots.
All right. Tell me about the shots that you heard.
It was like a lot, and I looked at him like my mouth open, like you heard that? But he didn't really pay attention to me. He like, what? So I didn't say anything.
After that, what happens?
He waits a little bit, then he drives off back to the Airbnb.
All right. At this point in time, what's going on in your head?
I mean, I heard a lot of shots, so I didn't know what went on. Somebody shooting in the air, somebody got shot at. I didn't know.
Did you know that somebody died?
No?
Did you know that someone got shot?
Hey, Judge,
No.
take a break.
Yes, yes, of course. Okay, I'm sorry it is. It's 5 to 11, and I know I had a lot of coffee this morning too. So, okay, so let's go ahead and take we'll come back at 11:05, okay? Very
All
good.
rise. Leave the open.
What time is it?
Somebody by the nickname K Shorty.
We weren't dating.
You didn't date him either, right?
No.
You weren't upset talking about Jewel Jordan and Julio Charles Jones recruiting all these young men that were getting shot up in this gang war?
I wouldn't say upset. I was just gossiping.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. But this is State 75C13. This is a photograph with you and K Shorty.
Yes, that's Therese.
Okay. And do you see what he's doing there?
Yeah.
He's throwing up like 12?
I don't know what the sign means. I
I have
mean,
no idea what that means. But you're posting this on TikTok, right? You love TikTok. You've talked about,
Yeah.
right? You posted on TikTok. You're both posing together.
yes, ma'am.
And despite the fact that you intimately know a lot of people who are associated with these gangs, you have no idea what it means when he's throwing up that sign.
No, I don't.
No idea whatsoever.
Objection, asked and answered.
Overrule, go ahead.
You followed Charles Jones on Instagram, isn't that correct?
Maybe back then.
Did you ever unfollow him?
Probably.
You were still following him when this crime occurred, right, on Instagram?
I don't remember following him.
You don't remember? You never looked and you never saw any of these advertisements that Julio was going to be in Tampa on June 22nd?
No, I never seen those.
You did not like Julio back in 2021. Isn't that true, ma'am?
I mean, I wouldn't say a personal issue. When you say like him, didn't like him.
I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 75C2, conversation that you had with Jewel Jordan. So I want you to read what you texted to her back on January 19th of 2021.
I said, but if you think about it, everybody dissing everybody. People from out east diss they side, so of course they gonna say something, but it don't even be proper like that, what? Like that for real. Julio be the one talking shit, then all his little niggas come, then other extra people.
Okay. So you are talking about out east, correct? That is a territory of 1,200.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're talking about how the people in 1,200 dish they side, correct? And then you're also talking about Papa, that's little Papa, right?
Yes.
And who's little Papa?
He's a rapper.
And you know that he also has a gang affiliation, is that correct?
I mean, he doesn't claim it, so I don't know.
Okay. You know your boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, is in a gang, isn't that true?
I don't know that.
That's something you've told your best friend since you were little, Jewel Jordan, that you knew that he was in a gang and that he was in it.
I never told her that.
You never
I said
said
I've
that?
heard allegations of it, but when I asked him, he denies it, so of course I took his word.
In this particular conversation, you then say, again, talking about Julio, let's go down here. I want you to tell the jury what then you texted in response to Jewel Jordan saying that they keep killing each other. And we're talking about the gang war in Jacksonville, right? 1,200 against 6 Block. ATK against 6 Block, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's see, what did you text her?
I said right, so it's gonna go on
And I'm
and
sorry,
on.
Miss Andrews, if you don't mind, you speak very quickly, so if you could just speak slowly, because I'm seated next to you and I'm having trouble hearing you. So,
Okay.
thank you very much.
I said right, so it's gonna go on, and they keep saying let leak rest, but I'm sure the other side be feeling like that, so it's gonna keep repeating, and yeah, they know what come with it, so charge it to the game, go retaliate or something. They sitting up there rapping, but that's y'all homeboy. Just do what y'all have to do. They don't be in Jacksonville, so I doubt they care about anybody here or the upcoming rappers.
So Leaky is another person that has died in this gang war, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're well aware of that, correct?
Yes, ma'am. He went to middle school with me.
So you have somebody who went to middle school that died in this gang war, and you had somebody who went to Rains High School that died in this gang war, is that correct?
Yeah, I heard of it, but I'm not friends with him.
Well, you say you're not friends with Spaz, right? Joe Rod Adams, correct?
Yeah, I'm not friends with him.
But he wasn't the only one that got shot in that Rains High School shooting, was he?
I mean, I think so.
Will also got shot in that high school shooting. Will Go Crazy, the person who you communicate with on your phone, right? You know who Will is.
I wouldn't say like that. He texts me and he tries to talk to me like I'm cute. People are going to start talking to me like that.
He's who Jewel Jordan was talking about when she said that you two had a friend that was injured at the shooting at Rains High School, correct?
Yeah, when she says friend, she means associate.
So I didn't ask you that, but what her wording up there was friends, right?
Yes.
And he got shot in the arm. His name is Will Royal. He went to high school with you at Rains High School, right?
I believe so.
You believe so or you know so?
I don't remember his last name being Royal, so that's why I said I believe so.
Okay, let's not call him Will Royal. Let's call him Will, who got shot in the left arm the same day that Spaz, Joe Rod Adams, got killed at Rains High School when you were attending there.
Yes.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yes, Will.
So what are you texting your friend Jewel Jordan on 1/21 of 2021?
You want me to read it?
Yes, ma'am.
I said it was deleted about the time I got up, but Fulio had said Fulio had said it, but everybody kind of knew that. It was just once that time he got shot, and I forgot the boy that died with him at the Rains game, but the boy Robert ain't even do that, even though he on the 6th side. It was Bibby, and Will knew that, but Bibby died like 3 weeks later, so that was crazy.
Okay. And so who we're talking about right now, that you claim not to know his last name, is the very person you are texting Jewel Jordan about, right? Will.
Yes, ma'am.
So you knew him well enough to be texting to your friend, Jewel Jordan, after the high school shooting at Rains, correct?
Yes, he was known.
And the other person that you are mentioning in the same sentence is Robert. You're referring to Robert Howard, the person who actually went to prison for manslaughter for that shooting, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're also mentioning Bibby, is that correct?
Yes.
Bibby is a nickname. It is a gang nickname, isn't it, Miss Andrews?
I didn't know his real name. I'm just referring to him as Bibby.
Okay. Because Bibby is the way that the people who you hang out with refer to him, right?
No, the people on the internet refer to him as Bibby.
That's right. And that's how they know him, by his
Yes.
gang name.
I mean, I wouldn't know if it's his gay name.
Do you think Bibby is his legal name?
I don't know him personally to know. So
And then Jewel Jordan responds, OMG, LMFA, what does that mean?
laughing my fucking ass off.
Everybody kind of knew. They all had comments to calling. You guys are also watching what is going on social media between these warring rival gangs, aren't you?
Yeah, that day we're actually referring to a post, so we're reading the comments, but instead of putting it in the comments, we're texting it to each other.
Now I want you to read to the jury what you texted your friend Jewel Jordan on January 21st of 2021.
I said, girl, I don't like Fulio, laugh my fucking ass off, ugly ass bitch. he need to die. And shit, that was Will friend. Fuck the cold shit. Then I said, bitch, he shot me and my friend died. Yeah, I'm pointing out who did it.
And so you don't like Julio Fulio. That's fair to say. Back in 2021, you didn't like him.
Yeah, that was my opinion when I was 17 years old.
And your exact words were, he need to die, correct?
Yeah, but I didn't mean it literally. I'm 17 just gossiping.
Okay. But you really are talking about your friend Will, and you're saying, fuck that code shit. If he shot me and my friend died, you're referring to Will and his friend Spaz that died.
Yeah, I was saying he knew probably who killed his friend. He should have spoke up. I'm saying if it's my friend, I'm going to tell who did it.
So you were upset that 6th Block, and you believe 6th Block and Julio Fulio's group were responsible for your friend getting shot, correct?
I mean, that was what was on the internet, and I wasn't upset. I mean, I'm just gossiping. I really don't care, honestly.
And then you emphasized it, right?
No, she emphasized
She
it.
emphasized it. Then I want you to go down here and say what you said, 1/22 of 2021.
I said, bitch, hold on, because I think Julio talking about Therese and his friends left my ass up. I do not like him.
Okay. And tell us again who Therese is.
Therese is the person I'm in a picture with.
And then what did you say?
I'm trying to put 2 and 2 together. I was reading the comments.
And then what did you say here?
No, that's her talking.
Oh, I'm
At the
sorry.
top.
What did Jewel Jordan say in
She
response?
said, that is Julio, though. He recruit a bunch of dumbass niggas who willing to die.
And then what was your response to that?
I said, right, and he started to realize. But first time I saw him, that shit clicked on. When Julio called we all in the garage, he talking about, nigga always want me to ride with him when he down here, so I could be the one to die, not him. I ain't no bodyguard. I said, bitch, I was dying.
And what do you mean when you texted that?
I was in the garage with Therese one day, like just chilling, and one of his, I think that was his cousin or somebody older, and he gets a call from Julio, and he, I think, asks him to ride somewhere, and he tells the friend, like, at the phone, he said, I'm not riding nowhere with him. I'm not finna die. And I just sent it to my friend. I'm like, well, I'm over here laughing about it.
And you said Isaiah Chance, you did not know he was in a gang. Is that correct?
I mean, I heard people say it, but when I asked him, he says he's not.
You also were aware of what happened at the town center. Is that correct?
Yes, it was on the news.
Tell us what happened at the town center.
Some people died in a car leaving Wasabi.
Okay. Young and Ace, correct?
He didn't die, but he got shot.
Young and Ace's group, is that correct? They were in that car.
His cousin and brother, I believe.
And he was the only one that survived, correct?
Yes.
His brother was killed.
I think that was his brother, yeah.
Person named 23, Royal Smith, was
yeah.
killed.
Yes, ma'am.
And Isaiah Chance, he was upset about that, wasn't he?
I mean, I don't know if he's upset, but he would say, like, he's heard about it sometimes.
That is something, a moment that he has shared with you intimately about what happened at the town center. Isn't that true, ma'am?
I mean, I already knew what happened, but he's explaining to me like he don't like to go out there.
Correct, because 23 died at the town center.
Yeah, he believes there's violence out there. You don't want to go out there.
And he was upset about it, right?
I mean, I guess so.
You had a conversation. You don't remember the conversation you had with him on your phone where you wanted to go do something at the town center?
Yeah, I believe I showed him a restaurant I wanted to go to.
That's you here, right? You want to go one day, question mark?
I think, is that him?
Oh, that's him, you're right.
That's him.
That's one of his old phone numbers, 904-575-7534.
Yes, that's his old number.
And he's like, you want to go one day? And you said, yeah, it's in the town center.
Yes.
And then what was your response?
I sent him a TikTok. I was responding to the TikTok saying, laugh my ass off, bro.
And then what was his response?
He said, I hate it here. I hate it there.
Why would he hate it there?
I guess he's traumatized about it. Somebody you know died out there. You don't want to go out there.
And his next response to you?
He says, I don't like the town center.
And then what did you say?
I said, you hate everywhere. We don't got to sit in.
And then what did he respond to you?
He's telling me 23 got killed in the town center. That's why I don't like it out there.
And then what was his next
He said, I
response?
don't like thinking about it for real. So when I do switch moves, like an MF.
And what was your response to this texting conversation?
I said, well, we don't have to go there if it's gonna bother you. I forgot about it. It's some other places we both ain't tried yet.
So this is a conversation that you have had more than once with Isaiah Chance, isn't that true?
I think that's is it the one time?
You said
I
you
don't
forgot
know.
about it, right?
No, I'm saying I forgot that it happened in the town center because I've seen it on the news.
You knew who 23 was, right?
So he referred to 23. Yes, I knew of the person.
Knew that 23 is associated with Young and Ace, is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, I knew that.
He has confided in you about more than one death that occurred in this gang war. Isn't that true, ma'am?
I don't know of more than one. Which one you referring to?
You know Antonio Tilley died between October 6th and October 7th of 2023.
Yes, he told me his friend died.
He was traumatized by that, correct?
I mean, I wasn't around him to know if he was traumatized, but he
Didn't
said
you-
he was sad, yeah.
Didn't you have a texting conversation with him October 7th of 2023 when he said that he was traumatized and that he was mentally not well, not right in the head?
I think I remember that conversation. I asked if he wanted me to be around him for,
He
you know,
needed some
just
space,
more
right?
support. Yeah, but he didn't want me to come.
And you remember that conversation. He didn't want you around because he was not in the right headspace the day after his friend Tilly died, correct?
Yeah, I remember. I mean, who would be in the right headspace after their friend died?
And so much so that you agreed not to go see him, right?
Yeah, if he don't want me there, I'm not going to go.
And you were worried about him, right?
Yeah, but I know if he doesn't want me there, I'm not going to just go.
And that was October 6th and 7th of 2023. Are you aware that Charles Jones, his life, there was an attempt on his life that occurred on October 7th of 2023, the day after his good friend Tilly was killed?
I've heard about it.
You heard about it from Charles Jones, right?
Yeah, I believe he went live or something.
Yeah, and in fact, not only did you hear about it from Charles Jones, you had conversations on your phone about it, and you assured him you would delete it, right?
Delete what?
Delete. I'm sorry. You had conversations with your boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, about it, and you deleted the conversations, didn't you?
About what?
About what he had done.
He never told me he did anything. I don't remember.
Well, then let me ask you, would looking at your messages with him on October 7th of 2023 refresh your recollection? You see that conversation?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've been in this trial, correct?
Yes.
You heard that the shell casings that was taken off of your boyfriend's best friend's Toyota 4Runner, that the ballistics matched the casings that were used to shoot at Julio Fulio Charles Jones on October of 2023, right?
Yes.
It's been tied to that ballistically, right?
Yeah, I've heard it.
And it occurred the day after Tilly was killed.
Yes.
And he was torn up, and you guys had conversations about it. You and your boyfriend Isaiah Chance had conversations about that. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Yeah, he's telling me he's not himself right now. He needs space. He never told me he did anything.
Then what is it that you're referring to after he tells you to stay loyal, right? He tells you that. He texts that to you after that, after he said he needed some time, on October 8th, now that we're talking, the
Yes.
day after Charles Jones, where they tried to take his life, right?
I mean,
Overruled.
He says to you, don't go run off normally, what you normally do, be loyal, stay loyal. That's what he said to you, right?
yes, and you're misinterpreting what he's saying. When he says stay loyal, he means don't go cheat. Because, I mean, I talk to who I want to talk to at times. When he's not paying me no attention, I feel like you ignore me, you're doing what you want to do, I'm going to go talk to other people. So that's why he's telling me stay loyal, don't do what you normally do.
So when he's devastated because his friend died, and then he and his friend tried to kill their rival, what he's worried about is you staying loyal to him?
I mean, I guess so.
Okay. And so what are you referring to when you say in direct response to that, you're saying, it's fine, you're all right now, it's somebody close to you, not a random person, so I mean it's normal to feel how you feel. I'm not bae, we're straight, we're just together, we're good. I deleted what you said, and I'm not texting nobody, even if you don't want to talk about it at the moment. So what exactly are you referring to that you deleted?
He told me to delete a message with somebody's texting me. It was a different guy.
So again, he's worried about you cheating. He didn't make any sort of confessions and confide in you as to what happened on October 7th?
No, he didn't.
Overruled.
And so when you are with law enforcement and they are interviewing you and they bring up Charles Jones, Julio Fulio, and they specifically talk about this beef, you lie to them and act like you don't know nothing about that, right?
Yeah, he asked me if I had knowledge, like I knew exactly who did what. Like, no, I don't have no direct knowledge. I know what's on the internet, but I didn't assume that's what he was asking me, so I said no.
You know nothing about Julio the big rapper, right?
I said I know what's on the internet. I don't know personally if it's true, who did what.
You know more than what is on the internet. Isn't that true, miss?
No, I actually don't.
You have just read to the jury about different deaths
That's on the internet in our city. I don't know if it would be an
And-
example, but Jacksonville is on the internet.
and also a person you know that's been shot, Will.
Yeah, I went to school with him, so I know.
Okay, so that's not just on the internet. That's something that you lived through, right?
I didn't live through it. I mean, that's his situation. I just know about it.
And you're dating Isaiah Chance Gutta, right?
Dating him when at that time?
And you know that his best friend, 23, has been killed.
I mean, okay, that's his friend. That's not my friend.
Okay. But you're aware of it, right?
Yeah, I'm aware.
And you know that Tilly has been killed.
Yes, that's his friend. That's not my friend.
But again, you are aware of it, right?
Yeah, it's on the internet.
Overruled.
And you know that Bibby has been killed,
Yes, just like everybody else knows.
and you yourself know about it.
Yes, it's on the internet.
And law enforcement are informing you that they are asking you about the death of Charles Jones in Tampa, right?
Yes.
And they are talking to you and they are mentioning that they know the beef between these two groups, right?
Yes.
And your boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, is connected to many of the people who have died in this rival gang war.
Yeah, he's connected, not me. So,
But you know about it.
yes, I know.
And you lied to law enforcement and withheld all of that information knowing that they are investigating another death in this rival gang war, right?
I mean, in the beginning, they told me to talk about what I want to talk about. I don't have to talk about what I don't want to talk about, and I didn't want to be in the middle of that. I don't know for sure of any of these deaths for real. I looked on the internet. I don't know, so I didn't answer it.
They read you your Miranda rights, right? They told you that before they read you your Miranda rights, right?
I don't know if it was before or not.
You didn't just watch this video?
Yeah, I don't remember if it was before, though.
They read you your Miranda rights and told you you had the right to remain silent, that you were in the driver's seat, right?
Yes.
They also informed you you could have an attorney present with you if you wanted to, right?
Yes.
And you chose to speak with them, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what I was there for, so I didn't have a problem speaking to them.
You didn't know what you were there for? They told you multiple times that you were there for the murder investigation of Charles Jones, right?
I'm saying as soon as it started, when I got arrested from my house, they said I had a warrant for resisting arrest. So that's why I was assuming I was going to jail for. I later ended up in a room with two guys. So I did sit there and talk.
Who told you what you were being questioned about?
Yeah, and I had no issue. I can answer the question.
And then multiple times in that interview, they were trying to impart to you the seriousness of what you were being questioned about.
Yes.
You would agree with that statement. Multiple times they tried to reach you and let you know how serious these charges were.
Yes.
And they asked you for details about who was involved. And they started showing you evidence.
Yeah, they did.
And in that moment, you chose to protect your boyfriend. Isn't that true?
I wouldn't say I protected him. I literally pointed him out, so that's not protecting him.
You never said that he was involved with a homicide, did you?
I didn't know if he's involved in it, so why would I tell him that?
You never said who or gave descriptions. If you truly believed he had nothing to do with this homicide, then why wouldn't you just share information and tell them and give them descriptions, even if you didn't know their name, what they look like, and where they came from?
I mean, again, I didn't know for sure, so I didn't answer that. And I'm not about to do their job for them, put my life on the line, to be in the middle of that, so I didn't answer it. I answered everything pertaining to me. Anything about them, I didn't answer.
You didn't seem like you were afraid in that interview. Were you afraid in the interview or not?
I was, but I handled myself well.
Okay. You weren't afraid of Isaiah Chance?
No, he's not even in there, so why would I be?
So, well, then I don't understand. Were you afraid to give up their names because you're afraid of them? You're afraid of Isaiah Chance and Davian Murphy and Rashad Murphy? Or are you protecting them in that interview?
I wouldn't say I'm doing any of that. I mean, you understand it's about a gang. I'm a female. I don't want to be in the middle of it, so I didn't answer it. And I don't know for sure if they did anything at the time of that, so I didn't say anything.
Then why are you up here testifying about how Isaiah Chance hit you?
Because, I mean, that leads up to why I act the way I act out of town.
You were afraid of him or not? Are you afraid of him? Does he beat you? And are you afraid to stand up to him?
Yes, at times.
And you said, I think you said in your direct examination, that people can't really understand because they don't know when you cannot leave. Is that what you said? Something to that
I
effect?
said people wouldn't understand a domestic violence relationship because you'll think, why don't you leave? Why don't you walk away? It's not that easy unless you're in it.
But that's not exactly true, is it?
It is true.
You say cannot leave. You did not live with him, did you?
No, I didn't.
You never lived with Isaiah Chance.
No, I didn't, but he knew where I stayed. He would pop up at my house, ring the doorbell all times of night, so I couldn't go nowhere. So
He never had financial control over you. He never paid your rent, did he?
I don't pay rent, so no.
You live with your parents.
Yes,
You live with two loving parents in a safe home. Isn't that true, Miss Andrews?
yes, I do.
And you never mentioned to your mother or your father that Isaiah Chance was hitting you or abusing you ever, did you?
I did.
You never reported it to police?
No, she asked me, but I didn't want to cause any problems with him or his family, so I left it alone.
So you had choices, didn't you?
That was the very last time, so I told them.
Are you afraid of him and do things because you are fearful of him? Is that what you testified to on direct?
Yes,
So fearful of him that you have to do everything he says. Is that correct?
at times, yes.
And you are claiming to this jury that you're not in a relationship with him anymore. Is that true, ma'am?
I'm not. I said he may think that because I never broke up with him, but
Do
I'm
you
not.
think that he thinks that because you still talk to him even though he is locked in jail, right?
Yes, I do still talk to him, and that's because of my issue. I don't want to cause any safety issues in his jail. He sends me verbal messages and where I'm at, so, I just keep him at ease. There's nowhere for me to go.
What safety issues? He is locked up for first-degree murder charges and cannot get to you. Isn't that true, ma'am?
You do know his ways in a jail. You can send messages to people. People look at me sideways. Oh, that's your boyfriend? He said this. He told me to tell you this. It's safety issues. Literally before I came to trial, a deputy told me one of my co-defendants were trying to have me jumped. So I just do what I have to do.
You are also safely in jail. Isn't that true, ma'am?
I wouldn't say safely. You can get in a fight at any time.
Okay. There are all kinds of deputies. Is that correct?
Yes, all of them don't do their job also. So
And we're not talking about your safety from other people. We're specifically talking about your safety from Isaiah Chance, someone you claim to be so afraid of that you will go along and do anything for him, right?
I wouldn't do anything for him, but
You wouldn't go along with a murder plot for him?
no, he never told me anything about a murder plot.
And you wouldn't try to call him multiple times incorrectly from the jail, right?
What do you mean incorrectly?
You're not allowed to phone another inmate, can you?
I don't call him like that, so what do you mean?
You're right, you don't call him like that. You have to break policy of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and do some kind of three-way call involving Isaiah Chance's mother. Isn't that true?
Yeah, we do that.
You do it all the time, right?
Yes, when he asks for me, I do it.
As for you, you have to initiate your own phone call. He can't call you in the jail either, can he?
I said when he asks for me, I do it. If he tells me to call, I'm going to call.
It's not just that he answers for you. You can't call him directly. Isn't that true, ma'am?
No, I can't.
You have to coordinate and you have to make arrangements with some third party who is not in jail so that you can talk to him. Isn't that true?
Yes, and like I said, it goes back to me keeping him happy. I don't want to cause any issues while I'm sitting here. If he gets mad, if I don't call him, it's no telling what he's going to say. I'm the odd one out of this. They can all turn around and say, oh, it was Alicia, and I'm not getting in the middle of that. So I keep him happy while I'm here. If he wants me to call, if he wants to talk to me, let him know about the baby. He lets me know, I let him know I'm okay. That's what I do.
You call him 5 to 10 times a day in there.
Yes, when he says, call back, I call back.
And you also do messages. There's a kiosk system where you can kiosk with him. Isn't that correct?
Yes, he texts me and I text him.
And you have intimate conversations about your case, don't you?
Yes, when he asks, I let him know.
And he sends you messages which could be called sexting, right?
Yeah, he do. I keep him happy, like I said.
And you're no longer in a relationship with him, correct?
No, he thinks that.
And you call him multiple times a day, every day, for several months. Isn't that true?
Yes, like I said, I'm doing what I have to do. I'm not going to let him know. I'm not going to get on the phone and act like it's a change. I'm acting the same. I'm doing what I have to do.
Ma'am, you understand you're on trial for first-degree murder, right?
Yes, I do.
And it's for hanging out with him.
I do.
And you are still protecting him, right? To this day, you're protecting him.
I'm not protecting him.
You are still calling him and communicating with him, aren't you?
Yes, that's not protecting him, though.
So much so that you call his mother, right?
I do.
And you have been advised, and you report to his mother that you don't care that your attorneys tell you not to talk to him. You're going to do it anyway, right?
Yes, because I feel like that's the best way to do it.
Okay. So you are so desperate to talk to him and have communication with him, you don't even care if it may be hurtful to your case.
I wouldn't say desperate, because when I did disappear and listened, he texted me from another person and said, "Why are you not listening to me? Why are you not responding? When are you going to get it through your big red forehead?" And all these other things. So I started back talking to him.
So now again, you're talking to him because you're still afraid of him, right? Even though he is locked up for first-degree murder charges and cannot go near you.
I didn't say physically come to me. I'm talking about other people.
You take advice from him, don't you?
I listened to it.
He discusses the case with you many, many times. Isn't that true?
Yes, because he knows I don't know, so he tries to make sure I know everything.
In fact, he tells you to kind of stay strong because the state thinks you're the weaker link. Has he told you that before?
Yes, he told me that.
Have you responded to him on, let's see. What's the date? Recently as June 27th of 2025, did you tell them half the witnesses are dead, you're listening to Jacksonville, and they don't solve shit, I'm just lost because this is all pointless?
Said what?
Did you say to him, half of their witnesses are dead, you're listening to Jacksonville, and they don't solve shit, I'm just lost because this is all pointless?
Yes, I told him, and that's my opinion. I don't understand why I'm here. It's really about them.
So you're still talking about what you're charged with him.
Yeah, he's aware, so I can say that.
And he tries to tell you what you should do in your case, right? And he tries to tell you what is the plan about the Airbnb. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Yeah, and I don't control him, so he talks about what he wants to talk about.
Don't you say in response to him telling you all that, you don't got to say all that. Don't walk me through those stops. You said that, right?
Yeah, I stop him when he talks about the case because I already kind of know that. So he tries to let me know, and I already know.
It's not because you've already discussed what you two are going to say that you're on some kind of vacation to Tampa.
No, we haven't.
That's not what you're referring
talked
to?
about that. No. He's talking about the girl in the Airbnb.
On July 5th, 2025, you didn't tell his mother that you made the defense attorney's investigator so mad because you told him you're not going to leave until you want to and that they can't tell you who you can talk to, specifically referring to him. Isn't that true?
I was referring to other people too, but him too.
Because you are not going to give him up. Isn't that true?
Like I said, I'm doing what I think I should do to keep him happy.
And that is calling him hundreds of times, multiple times a day.
Yes, you don't see the other messages when he asks us. He says, "Can you call? I need you to call. Are you okay? How are you? How's the baby?"
So at some point, when I say you guys are off and on, there are times where he doesn't want to talk to you. Isn't that true, ma'am?
At times.
And there are times that he blocks you, right?
Yes.
And right before, let's talk about June 17th of 2024. right? This is
Yes.
within a couple of weeks of this happening, right?
I think a couple of days. Yeah.
June 17th, 2024, he blocked you. So you got to resort to a text now chat, right? That's not a normal means of texting on an iPhone, right? This is a special app.
Yeah, that's the app, but pertaining to him, I always text on text now when he blocks me.
So he's blocked you before, right?
Yes, whenever he's mad, he blocks me.
So sometimes he's ended communication and broken up with you, right?
Not broken up, he just goes off for a day or two.
And so can you read to the jury what it is you texted this person that you're afraid of?
Oh, I said, bitch, you a sicko. Why you blocking me over a call I didn't even initiate? Trying to act like you mad, and I make people comfortable.
Excuse me. You need to speak, I'm sorry, Miss Andrews, the court reporter's got to take down what you're
My
saying,
bad.
so you got to speak real slow, okay?
I said, bitch, you a sicko. Why you blocking me over a call I didn't even initiate? Trying to act like you mad, and I make people comfortable. I didn't do shit to make nobody feel comfortable. It was out the fucking blue. Why the fuck are you acting like it's my problem? You just wanted to have a reason to talk. I messed up when I was typing. To talk to ugly bitches you talk to. Everybody you come across and you touch, you fuck them up. You're not even mentally there and stable in the head for no relationship. Even when I didn't do shit to your ass or start a conversation, you still fucking mad. The fuck. And then I said, and you acting like I'm not pregnant. You gonna talk to me one day, so I don't give a fuck about your attitude. And I said, bye, bitch.
So this reconciliation that you're talking about, this is what he is trying to stop communication with you, right?
This is one of the things he do. So when you say stop communication, he just disappears for a day. He doesn't even really mean it. He's gonna pop up the next day and be like, what you doing?
So you weren't trying to make this jury think when you first testified that there was domestic violence in your relationship, and this reconciliation was you trying to get back with him and him trying to reconcile with you because of something he did, right?
Wait, can you repeat it?
Yes, I can. You're not trying to make this jury believe that he was the one trying to reconcile with you after he hit you or something, are you?
I don't know what you mean by that pertaining to the message. I'm just cursing him out.
No, I said when you guys get back together, I thought you told the defense attorney on your direct that this was some kind of reconciliation trip. You
It
guys
was.
just trying to get back together, right?
It was after I sent that, he did eventually end up texting me, not on there, but he texted my phone and we're back cool. We always do that.
And why is his little brother coming on this reconciliation trip with you?
I mean, I don't know that. That's something you have to ask him. I didn't know he was even going.
But you know why you were going, right?
Yes, he invited me and I thought it was going to be us two.
And it wasn't, right?
Yeah.
And you get to an Airbnb and you're only there for a day.
Yes.
And you go nowhere except for 3 clubs. Is that correct?
Yeah, in McDonald's.
And again, not with him and Davian Murphy, right?
Yes.
So what exactly was planned for this trip where you two were going to get back together after fighting?
It wasn't necessarily get back together. It was just to spend time. I didn't have a plan. Oh, if we get down here, go here, go here. If we go out, we go out. If we don't, I would be fine with that too.
So now it's not a reconciliation trip.
No, we are getting back cool, but I'm saying it wasn't a big deal to go out nowhere. That was his decision.
You kind of just testified that he didn't spend any alone time with you that entire night, right?
He was up there, but eventually he would go his own way.
Okay. You said that he didn't go with you anywhere, and you did not go with him to when they first checked out teasers around 10. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was still in the bed at that time.
And you lied to law enforcement in that interview when you said it was just the 2 of you, right?
The 2 of us went because I mentioned Sean too.
You did, but that wasn't until later on in the conversation. When they first asked you about the Airbnb and the door, you specifically said, "It's just me and him." Do you remember hearing that?
Yes, I did say that because I meant like when we first came in, it was just me and him.
So again, there was no planned story that if the two of you got caught, that it was just going to be you and him on a romantic getaway.
We never talked about caught. There's nothing to get caught about because I didn't do anything.
So again, no conversation ahead of time if you were to get caught about what your story would be.
He never told me nothing about getting caught. When he got interrogated, he came back and told me that's what happened. And then he said, you don't have to worry about that because we didn't do anything.
When did you have the conversation with him about his interrogation?
When it was the first time they searched his house.
Before you were interrogated by law enforcement?
Yes, ma'am.
So there was some discussion about what it is that law enforcement was going to be questioning you about in that interview, right?
He didn't mention the guy. He just said our trip out of town.
Okay. Such a coincidence, right? He mentions the trip out of town. You still aren't suspicious. You have still no idea a murder happened. But after he's arrested for not a homicide, just for what?
It
A
was
resist?
resisting arrest.
You guys are talking about the trip to Tampa.
I mean, not in detail. He just said the trip.
But he wasn't arrested in Tampa, was he? He was arrested in Jacksonville by Duval County Sheriff's officers. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Yes, but I'm saying
For-
after they arrested him, he
for
let me know
leaving?
what it was for.
For leaving the scene, right?
No.
So what? Oh, for resisting arrest. Nothing that had to do in the charges of Tampa, right?
No, they left a search warrant and it said the conspiracy thing on there and something else.
Jacksonville, Duval County left the conspiracy and murder charge up there with
I don't
him?
know if it was Jacksonville, but it was on one of the papers.
And so that's what led to a conversation of you all being down in Tampa. Is that correct?
Yeah, he just said it was about the trip to Tampa.
So when you testified to this jury that you had no idea why Tampa officers were pulling you in for that interview, you were lying up there on the stand?
That's not what I said. I mean, he didn't go in full detail about what they were coming to about Tampa. He just said the trip in Tampa.
You said you had no idea why these officers were pulling you into that interview room. Isn't that
And I
what you just
meant
testified
because when
to?
they came to my house, they were coming for resisting arrest. So I didn't know why Tampa was coming to talk to me.
But that's not what you just said, because you said after the resist charge, before your interview, you and your boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, were talking about what happened in Tampa.
That was way before. I mean, like when he got arrested.
So let's talk about some more lies that you told law enforcement. You said that you could not remember how it was you got through the back door of the Airbnb, right? You have any memory issues?
No, I'm not slow.
Overruled, go ahead. I'm sorry, what was the answer?
Any
I said
memory
no.
issues?
I mean, I'm not slow. What do you mean memory issues?
Well, they're talking to you within a couple of months of you coming to Tampa, right?
Yes.
You don't come to Tampa every day, right?
No.
And you were with your boyfriend at this Airbnb, correct?
Yes.
And you saw those videos of you at this front door. Can you take a look at the photo behind you?
And for
Yes.
the record, what are you showing her?
I'm showing her States Exhibit 60. You recognize this Airbnb?
Yes.
And you saw the other video, State 61, where you are on the Ring camera, right?
Yes.
You're only on that Ring camera entering this front door 2 times, right?
Yeah, I think it was 2 times.
On June 22nd of 2023.
Yes.
And then you are not on that front door Ring camera at all, correct?
No.
And they don't just ask you about the front door. They ask you, you leave. You leave 2 times and come back, right?
Yes, I did.
You left and you went to the McDonald's with Davy and Murphy and your boyfriend Isaiah Chance, right?
Yes.
And you didn't go out this front door and you didn't come back this front door, right?
Right.
Can you take a look at the video, ma'am? we're going to show you how it is you get to the back door of this Airbnb. This is the back door, right? This is how you would have to get in when you're going to the back door, right? You got to walk through this grass pathway. And then open this door, this gate, right? And then it takes you to the sliding glass doors, right?
Yes, ma'am.
They didn't just ask you about the front door. They asked you what door you got in when you came back from the McDonald's, right?
Yes, they did.
And you didn't tell them, if you have nothing to hide, and we're just talking about an Airbnb, you didn't just say, I went through the back door, right?
Yeah, I didn't say that.
You lied, right?
I don't think I answered it.
You said, I don't remember.
Yeah, and I probably was aggravated at the time, so.
But it's a lie nonetheless, right?
Yeah.
Because certainly you're not going to make the jury believe that you going through some dark pathway in the middle of the night to leave and then get back is something that you're not going to remember, right?
I mean, not necessarily. It wasn't a big thing to remember that day.
Even though you're being questioned on a first-degree murder charge, you can't even tell them that you just left the back door to go to McDonald's?
Yeah, but I'm saying I didn't really remember that, so, and I was aggravated, so.
It's a lie. You lied to law enforcement knowing they're investigating a first-degree homicide.
Yeah, but he was just asking me about a back door, so I didn't see any relevance.
So it's okay to lie to law enforcement if you don't think it's relevant, right?
No.
You have no clue what they're planning, right?
No.
You see the two spots here?
Yes.
They're open, right?
Yes, they are.
Where's the Impala?
It's parked on the side.
Where on the side?
In one of the other parking spots they had on the side.
Close to where that back door is, that side parking lot where the back door is?
I don't remember if it was close. I think it was like in the middle.
They had some bags, right? You have a bag right there.
Yeah, my bad.
So when all of those bags and stuff are unloaded, except for yours, they have to go through that back pathway to load all of those heavy guns, right?
I mean, I can't answer that. I didn't see them carried in there.
And you didn't see Davy and Murphy in there either, did you?
Not when I first got there, no.
But eventually you did see him, right?
Yes, later on.
States Exhibit 38A. So again, you saw him at the Airbnb.
Yes.
He's staying at the Airbnb.
I mean, if you consider that staying.
You lied to law enforcement about there being any other individual at that Airbnb other than you, Isaiah Chance, and his little brother, right?
Yeah, I didn't answer anything about the other people.
So that's a lie, right, ma'am? You lied to them about Davy and Murphy, a member of 1200 or an associate of 1200, being at that Airbnb.
Yeah, I didn't want to answer anything about them, so I didn't answer.
Also not relevant, right?
I mean, I wouldn't know, so.
36A. You don't know who this is, right?
At the time I didn't, but I do now.
You rode in a car with him for 3.5 hours, right?
Yes, I also went to sleep. I didn't really look at him like that.
You have been to his house for a barbecue. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Yes.
He was introduced to you by your boyfriend of over 3 years of his second family, right?
Yeah.
He introduced you to all of his family members, right?
I didn't say all of his family members.
You said he introduced you at that barbecue and said, this is my second family, right?
Yes, but I don't know if that's his real family members.
So you're suggesting to this jury that when you are being introduced by your boyfriend to his second family, that he posed some fake people next to him?
I'm saying I don't know if he was talking about everybody that was standing there. Could have been talking about particular people.
But certainly Sean Gathright was there, right?
Yes, ma'am, he was there.
And he's one of the people, he's saying, this is my second family, right?
No, he said little brother to him.
Part of his family. And then the rest of the people was his second family, right?
Yeah, he considered them second family.
And you care about Isaiah Chance?
I did.
And you would have us believe that after he introduced you to his little brother, his second family, you went off in some second room and never looked at his face?
I didn't go off to the second room. I just got a plate and went back to the car.
You hid in the car, right?
Yeah, I don't really talk much, so I got back in the car.
Oh, so you never had a conversation with him?
No, I just said hey and bye.
And you can't tell that this person in 36A is the same person in 36B?
I mean, at the time, it didn't really look like him. I just glanced at the picture. I said no.
And in the entire 3.5 car ride, you never looked at his face either?
I'm not staring him down, so I mean, no.
And at the entire time that you're at the Airbnb with him, you never looked at his face or had one conversation with him?
I didn't have a conversation with him, but I maybe glanced.
You were walking next to Isaiah Chance at Teasers. You were walking next to him at that parking lot when he was at Truth 18. I'm not going to play the videos again. You saw that. You guys were walking right next to him.
If you consider that right next to him, yes.
Some points you were a little behind him, is that correct?
Yes.
And some points you were right next to him, isn't that correct?
Yes.
And there were points when he has that phone, your phone, up to his ear.
Yeah, at certain points.
And at one point, when he has it up to his ear, he has to give it to you so you can do what?
Put the code in. That was at the first club.
And that's right. Put the call in, right? There is a call that is happening. And
I said the code.
the code. But there is a call happening. He's actually on the phone, right?
At the first club, he attempts to make a call, yeah.
Attempts, right? It's literally up to his ear.
Yeah, I don't think it went through.
Oh, because you're right next to him, you would know, right?
No, I mean, he didn't say anything, so that's why I said I don't think it went through.
And at some point, he hands it to you so you can do what?
I mean, I didn't put the code back in after that.
Just the one time?
Yes.
It didn't go off any other time that you were with him from the entire time to Teasers, to Truth 18?
I mean, later on, I think, yeah. At the next club, yeah.
What about in the car?
No, and the car was still unlocked.
And you never heard him utter one word on that phone while you were next to him in the parking lot at Teasers?
Teaser's just the first club, right?
Yes, ma'am.
No, he didn't say anything.
And he never said one thing the entire time when you guys are sitting in that parking lot at Teasers at the same point when Charles Jones is there.
He said something, but he didn't say anything about him.
What did he say?
He just was saying how all the people are just standing there, standing around.
He never had one phone call?
I mean, he tried to call, but I don't know. Again, I don't know if it went through.
I'm going to show you State's Exhibit Number 94C1. You see this when he's on the phone actually sharing a live location with Sean Gathright that's occurring at 2 a.m. You see that?
Yes, ma'am.
He does that multiple times. So he has your phone a lot in that car, right?
Yes.
And so anytime there's inactivity on the phone, you got to do what for him?
Unlock it, but he never locked it back. If he didn't respond, he just went and got on something else.
He doesn't lock the phone, right? That's something that happens automatically based on time, right?
Yes.
When that phone locks up in the parking lot, it's not because he locked it, it's because there's a timing mechanism on your iPhone that makes it go dark, right?
I mean, yeah, but the first time he got out the car, it's my phone. He stops me and asks for it, so it's not unlocked when he asks for it.
And then at some point, he starts texting NIGGA, pick up the FNO. He says that. He doesn't text it just once at 2:31. He sends this text again at 2:31 and 24 seconds. So he wants somebody to pick up that effing phone. Are you claiming when he's texting that, he's not saying anything to you?
No, not about that.
Do you see him desperately going like this?
No, not like he rushing, he just regularly typing.
He just casually texts,
Yes.
pick up the effing phone, twice.
Yeah.
And that was something that if he had done it very erratically, you would have noticed, right?
Yeah, but he wasn't.
That might have tipped you off that something pretty important was happening, right?
I mean, if you say so.
So he's just casually typing that in, and then he's sharing the location again later, 2 hours later. But after this exchange, he never gets a phone call. There's no conversation in that car.
I don't remember him having a conversation there.
But he's not sending one other text after he desperately texts that twice, right?
I don't think he did.
You don't think, or you're not willing to tell us?
I don't really know what he texts, so.
And you don't remember or him hearing him have any conversation in that car?
Not right there, no.
And you remember Detective Ramos when he was sitting next to you and he was kind of acting out what he thought happened after he saw the video footage and some of the messaging, that he's right next to you in that car and he's saying, he's sitting this close to you, right? He's in the driver's seat, right?
Yes.
And you are in the passenger seat, right?
Yeah.
Remember that exchange? And he kind of imitates and acts out, hey, get here, get here. He's going into the club now. You better get here now. That you're claiming something like that never happened.
No, I told you what he said.
Okay.
Only time he said something was when he flipped the camera and said it was packed. And where y'all at?
Do you also remember, oh, so now they said where you're all at, right?
I'm talking about when he took the picture on the screenshot. That's what I said he said.
Okay. Did you know who he was talking to?
I mean, no, but I assumed it was his friends.
Do you remember when law enforcement specifically asked you about the black Chevy Impala?
Yes, ma'am.
That black Chevy Impala happened to be at the Home to Suites, correct?
I mean, yeah, but at the time I didn't know that.
You didn't see the black Chevy Impala when your boyfriend was circling around the parking lot not once but twice?
No, I didn't see that car.
That was a car.
Excusable or was committed by the use of justifiable deadly force is lawful. If you find that Charles Jones was killed by Alicia Andrews, you will then consider the circumstances surrounding the killing in deciding if the killing was murder in the first degree, murder in the second degree, or manslaughter, or whether the killing was excusable or resulted from justifiable use of deadly force. Justifiable homicide. The killing of a human being is justifiable homicide and lawful if necessarily done while resisting an attempt to murder or commit a felony upon the defendant, or to commit a felony in any dwelling house in which the defendant was at the time of the killing. Excusable homicide. The killing of a human being is excusable and therefore lawful under any one of the following three circumstances. 1, when the killing is committed by accident and misfortune in doing any lawful act by lawful means with usual ordinary caution and without any unlawful intent. Or 2, when the killing occurs by accident and misfortune in the heat of passion upon any sudden and sufficient provocation. Or 3, when the killing is committed by accident and misfortune resulting from a sudden combat if a dangerous weapon is not used and the killing is not done in a cruel or unusual manner. Dangerous weapon is any weapon that, taking into account the manner in which it is used, is likely to produce death or great bodily harm. I now instruct you on the circumstances that must be proved before Alicia Andrews may be found guilty of murder in the first degree or any lesser included crime. Murder in the first degree, count 1. To prove the crime of first-degree premeditated murder, the state must prove the following 3 elements beyond a reasonable doubt. Number 1, Charles Jones is dead. 2, the death was caused by the criminal act of Alicia Andrews. 3, there was a premeditated killing of Charles Jones. An act includes a series of related actions arising from and performed pursuant to a single design or purpose. Killing with premeditation is killing after consciously deciding to do so. The decision must be present in the mind at the time of the killing. The law does not fix the exact period of time that must pass between the formation of the premeditated intent to kill and the killing. The period of time must be long enough to allow reflection by the defendant. The premeditated intent to kill must be formed before the killing. The question of premeditation is a question of fact to be determined by you from the evidence. It will be sufficient proof of premeditation if the circumstances of the killing and the conduct of the accused convince you beyond a reasonable doubt of the existence of premeditation at the time of the killing. Second-degree murder, lesser as to count 1. To prove the crime of second-degree murder, the state must prove the following 3 elements beyond a reasonable doubt. Number 1, Charles Jones is dead. 2, the death was caused by the criminal act of Alicia Andrews. 3, there was an unlawful killing of the victim by an act imminently dangerous to another and demonstrating a depraved mind without regard for human life. An act includes a series of related actions arising from and performed pursuant to a single design or purpose. An act is imminently dangerous to another in demonstrating a depraved mind if it is an act or series of acts that 1, a person of ordinary judgment would know is reasonably certain to kill or do serious bodily injury to another, and 2, is done from ill will, hatred, spite, or an evil intent, and 3, is of such a nature that the act itself indicates an indifference to human life. In order to convict of second-degree murder, it is not necessary for the state to prove the defendant had an intent to cause death. Manslaughter, lesser as to count 1. To prove the crime of manslaughter, the state must prove the following 2 elements beyond a reasonable doubt. Number 1, Charles Jones is dead. 2, Alicia Andrews intentionally committed an act or acts that caused the death of the victim, or B, the death of the victim was caused by the culpable negligence of Alicia Andrews. Every person has a duty to act reasonably toward others. If there is a violation of that duty without any conscious intention to harm, that violation is negligence. The defendant cannot be guilty of manslaughter by committing a merely negligent act, or if the killing was either justifiable or excusable homicide, as I have previously instructed you. In order to convict of manslaughter by act, it is not necessary for the state to prove that the defendant had an intent to cause death, only an intent to commit an act that was not merely negligent, justified, or excusable, and which caused death. I will now define culpable negligence for you. Each of us has a duty to act reasonably toward others. If there is a violation of that duty without any conscious intention to harm, that violation is negligence. But culpable negligence is more than a failure to use ordinary care toward others. In order for negligence to be culpable, it must be gross and flagrant. Culpable negligence is a course of conduct showing reckless disregard of human life or of the safety of persons exposed to its dangerous effects, or such an entire want of care as to raise a presumption of a conscious indifference to consequences, or which shows wantonness or recklessness, or a grossly careless disregard for the safety and welfare of the public, or such an indifference to the rights of others as is equivalent to an intentional violation of such rights. The negligent act or omission must have been committed with an utter disregard for the safety of others. Culpable negligence is consciously doing an act or following a course of conduct that the defendant must have known or reasonably should have known was likely to cause death or great bodily harm. Criminal conspiracy count 2. To prove the crime of criminal conspiracy, the state must prove the following 2 elements beyond a reasonable doubt. Number 1, The intent of Alicia Andrews was that the offense of first-degree murder would be committed. 2, in order to carry out the intent, Alicia Andrews agreed, conspired, combined, confederated with Isaiah Chance, Sean Gathright, Rashad Murphy, or Davion Murphy, or other diverse persons to cause the first-degree murder to be committed either by them, or one of them, or by some other person. It is not necessary that the agreement, conspiracy, combination, confederation to commit first-degree murder be expressed in any particular words or that words pass between the conspirators. It is not necessary that the defendant do any act in furtherance of the offense conspired. Principles. If the defendant helped another person or persons commit a crime, the defendant is a principal and must be treated as if she had done all the things the other person or persons did if the state proved beyond a reasonable doubt, 1, the defendant intended the crime to occur, and 2, the defendant did some act or said something that was intended to and that did incite, cause, encourage, assist, or advise the other person or persons to actually commit the crime. To be a principal, the defendant does not have to be present when the crime is committed. For first-degree premeditated murder, the state must prove the defendant intended that the killing of Charles Jones occur. For second-degree murder, it is not necessary for the state to prove the defendant intended the death of Charles Jones. It is not necessary for a principal to know every detail of how a first-degree murder or any lesser degree of first-degree murder will be committed, as long as the principal intended the first-degree murder or lesser degree of first-degree murder to occur, and did some act or said something that was intended to help and did help the first-degree murder or lesser degree of first-degree murder to occur. To be found guilty of first-degree murder with a firearm or any lesser degree of first-degree murder with a firearm or weapon as a principal, it is not necessary for the state to prove a defendant knew another participant of the first-degree murder or any lesser degree of first-degree murder would be or was armed. For count 1 of the indictment, the state must prove that the crime was committed on June 23, 2024, between 1:40 a.m. and 7:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time within a 3-mile radius of 11606 McKinley Drive, Tampa, County of Hillsborough, State of Florida. For count 2 of the indictment, the state must prove that the crime was committed between June 21, 2024 and June 23, 2024. The place where crime 2 of the indictment occurred was within a 10-mile radius of Interstate Center Drive and Clark Road, Jacksonville, County of Duval, State of Florida, and or within a 3-mile radius of 13751 Victoria Lakes Drive, Jacksonville, County of Duval, State of Florida, and or within a 10-mile radius of 301 Caravan Circle, Jacksonville, County of Duval, State of Florida, and or within a 3-mile radius of 3703 Gazebo Pond Lane, Tampa, County of Hillsborough, State of Florida, and or within a 3-mile radius of 4819 East Bush Boulevard, Tampa, County of Hillsborough, State of Florida, and or within a 3-mile radius of 9700 North Nebraska Avenue, Tampa, County of Hillsborough, State of Florida, and or within a 3-mile radius of 11606 McKinley Drive, Tampa, County of Hillsborough, State of Florida. All right, State, to proceed forward with your closing argument.
Yes, Your Honor, may it please the court, defense counsel? Members of the jury, Charles Jones was a prominent drill rapper out of Jacksonville, Florida. He was known as Julio Fulio, Six, the Big Rapper. He had drill raps on Instagram, on YouTube. He had millions of hits and followers. He was well known in Jacksonville. They hunted him. They stalked him, they found him, they targeted him, and they gunned him down. That is the only reason all 5 of those individuals were here in Tampa, Florida on June 22nd, and then the early morning hours of June 23rd of 2024. The defendant, Alicia Andrews, seated over there, along with her fellow co-defendants, her fellow co-conspirators, Rashad Murphy, Davian Murphy, Sean Gathright, and her boyfriend Isaiah Chance. That is the only reason they came down to Tampa, was for that one specific purpose, to hunt and gun down Charles Jones. This was a rival gang war that has been going on in Jacksonville for years and years. You have seen those drill rap videos. You have seen the type of videos that they are. And Charles Jones came down to Tampa to celebrate his birthday with friends. Charles Jones had posted online drill rap videos disrespecting the other side, disrespecting ATK, disrespecting members of 1200. And the other side did the same thing. You saw those videos from Young and Ace, and the ones produced from ATK, and the ones produced by 1200. Both sides made fun of other members that have been gunned down in this horrific gang war that has been going on in Jacksonville for years. And one of the songs that Charles Jones made was When I See You, specifically making fun of the town center shooting where Young and Ace was shot and his little brother killed, and 2 other members of their group were killed, including someone who went by the name of 23. Who was close to Isaiah Chance, the defendant's boyfriend of over 3 years. They had had intimate conversations about this rival gang war that had occurred.
Overruled.
They had had, the evidence shows, her messaging on her phone shows that she had had conversations with Charles Jones where she had been told by him about these deaths. They discussed the town center and how he could not go there anymore because what had happened at the town center. That is where 23 was killed. That is where Young and Ace was shot multiple times. There had been conversations on October 8th between her and her boyfriend Charles Jones. You know what happened on October 7th. Charles Jones was shot. There was an attempt on his life in Jacksonville. And you have seen ballistic evidence in this case that ties the people in this murder and this conspiracy directly to the attempt on his life in October of 2023. Sean Gathright, who is the arms person, who is the arms supply person, who supplies the weapons, who has the weapons and takes them away and transports them in the Chevy Impala and then transports them in the Toyota 4Runner and then eventually to his house. When he gets stopped in that Toyota 4Runner, there are rifle shell casings that are tested and compared to the shell casings that are collected from the October 2023 attempted murder, aggravated battery of Charles Jones that happens in Jacksonville, Florida. And it is the same gun that fires those shell casings, the ones that are found in Sean Gathrights' vehicle and the ones that are found at the attempted murder scene of Charles Jones in October in 2023. They tried to kill him before and were not successful. And you heard that Charles Jones got on the internet and posted a video on the internet and taunted them after it happened, saying that they didn't get him. They planned to murder him, and this time they were not going to miss. This is a well-orchestrated, planned, first-degree, premeditated murder. State's Exhibit 22. This is at the Home to Suites. And we put many clips together, but this is Charles Jones, and this is his black Dodge Charger parked in front of the Home to Suites. And his girlfriend is behind him in her car. And you can clearly see that he is seated in the front passenger seat of that Dodge Charger. In the second clip, you're going to see at this location, this is the first time that black Chevy Impala carrying 3 armed and covered gunmen pull into that parking lot, and they don't go in front of where Charles Jones' vehicle is. You see them turn to the right. They are avoiding the line of sight of Charles Jones. They want to make sure that they get him. They never pull into the line of sight of Charles Jones and his party. Charles Jones now is laying in that front passenger seat with his feet up. The next clip that you see in State's Exhibit 22 is of the car pulling up of his friend. That's Typha McCrae, and in his vehicle is Camilla Bentley and Aaliyah Albritton. They pull up next. That's the next thing that happens in the sequence of events. The black Chevy Impala has already pulled in. It is now circling the parking lot so it can stay out of view. The next clip you're going to see is Typha McCrae and his girlfriend, Aaliyah Albritton, get out and go to the bathroom. Camilla Bentley gets into the front passenger seat. The next sequence is the silver Chevy Cruze. We all know who is in the silver Chevy Cruze. It is the defendant along with her good boyfriend, Isaiah Chance. They circle, they don't go to the right, they directly go by the cars of the victim and the victim's party. These are cars that they are very well familiar at this point because they have seen these cars at 2 other locations. They saw it first at Teasers and they saw it at Truth 18. It is not a coincidence that the silver Chevy Cruze followed them to this location and then pulls off into another parking lot while it waits for that black Chevy Impala with the 3 armed and masked gunmen to get there. They are waiting for the gunmen to get there. And when the black Chevy Impala gets there, they come and they directly look for the victim and the victim's vehicles. Again, State's Exhibit 22, you're going to see that silver Chevy Impala with the defendant and her boyfriend circle around, and they are going to the exact area where the black Chevy Impala is. The second clip, after they have gone to where that black Chevy Impala is and the black Chevy Impala has parked, they then are now leaving, and they again are going for a direct line of sight where the victim and his friends are parked and sitting in their cars. State's Exhibit 22, you're going to see at this very moment, they can see where the victim is. That silver Chevy Cruze is passing where the victim is seated in that passenger seat. They are the eyes. They are the surveillance tracking team of this mission. And make no mistake, this is a mission. The assault hit team is the black Chevy Impala with 3 armed and masked men. 2 of the men are having assault rifles. Their faces are covered. One of them has all black. The other has a white ski mask. And then the third shooter has a Glock with a switch that makes it a fully automatic gun and a weapon. You're going to see in this next clip that the first person to fire is the person with the firearm. And it's very clear what person they are shooting at, what person they are targeting. They are targeting the victim, who is the passenger in the black Chevy Impala. They don't care about any of those other cars that flee and crash. In this next clip, you're going to see that they are specifically targeting the victim. They follow his car. They continue to fire upon his car. That is the only car that they are interested in, because the person who has taunted them, the person who they unsuccessfully tried to kill months ago, survived. And now they are going to ensure that he dies. State's Exhibit 22. They are heavily armed. They are prepared. They are masked. They brought artillery with them. They are ready to kill Charles Jones. They didn't just kill Charles Jones. When they came to Tampa and they shot up that parking lot, there were many victims. There were 2 people that were in that car with Charles Jones. Xavier Edwards was shot. You see his injuries in this photograph. Gino Norris was shot, not in a gang. Law enforcement very clear on that. Another victim in this crime. Camilla Bentley, also shot, not in a gang. They didn't care who they hurt. They just wanted to kill Charles Jones. They weren't the only victims in this case. They shot up a public parking lot in a hotel that had guests, that had families, that had people that were dropping off their children at University of South Florida, that is just across the street from Fowler Avenue, the other road that intersects McKinley where those hotels are. They shot up hotel rooms that had families in it, husband and wives and children. They didn't care who they hurt. Their focus was on Charles Jones, and they wanted to make sure that they killed him. In order to prove murder in the first degree, the judge just read to you what those instructions are. This is what the state has to prove, that Charles Jones is dead. That element, we only have to prove 3 elements beyond and to the exclusion of reasonable doubt. Charles Jones is dead. That has been proved beyond a reasonable doubt. The death was caused by the criminal act of Alicia Andrews. That has been proven beyond a reasonable doubt. There is a mountain of evidence, and we're going to talk about the principal instruction, because she is a principal to this crime, and you treat her as if she had done everything her fellow co-defendants did. You put her in exactly the same shoes. She is criminally responsible for everything that her fellow co-defendants did in this particular case, and that there was a premeditated killing of Charles Jones. An act includes a series or related actions arising from and performed pursuant to a single design or purpose. Killing with premeditation is a killing after consciously deciding to do so. The decision must be present in the mind at the time of the killing. The law does not fix the exact period of time that must pass between the formation of the premeditated intent to kill and the killing. The period of time must be long enough to allow reflection by the defendant. The premeditated intent to kill must be formed before the killing. Premeditation can happen in seconds. There is no fixed time. There just has to be a conscious reflection by the defendant, where they reflect upon it and form that premeditated intent to kill. We are well beyond that in this case. This is a planned first-degree murder. Before they even got into that black Chevy Impala, they had planned to do this. They had got weapons together. They knew what sort of equipment they wanted. Not only did they have the type of weapons that fire rapidly, they intended to get away with this murder. They got brass catchers. They put those on the AR rifles, and none of the brass, none of the spent shell casings were left behind because they were collected. That is sophistication. That are people that planned to commit this crime and planned to get away with it. The question of premeditation is a question of fact to be determined by you as jurors. From the evidence, it will be sufficient proof of premeditation if the circumstances of the killing and the conduct of the accused convince you beyond a reasonable doubt of the existence of premeditation at the time of the killing. The proof in this case is overwhelming, and you can see it yourself. Those videos are evidence. It is direct evidence. It is captured on video for all of you to see it. You saw what happened. You saw that they tracked and they stalked and they hunted that victim down in Florida, here in Tampa. He posted where he was going to be on his Instagram. She follows his Instagram. She doesn't like him. It's clear from her messages that she does not like Charles Jones. Why in the world would she need to follow him? She follows his Instagram. And on Instagram, well before he came to Florida, over 7 days before he came, he is posting that he is going to be at Teasers on June 22nd between 8 and 3 a.m. He also posts that he is going to be at Teasers on June 22nd. He is posting exactly where he is going to be. That is the reason why they are coming to Tampa on June 22nd of 2024. That is the only reason that they are coming to Tampa. She books that Airbnb. She does it on June 21st of 2024. She is trying to book the Airbnb. She's not the actual one that books it because the co-defendant, Rashad Murphy, ends up doing it. This falls through. But it is clear that she is in the loop. It is clear that she is participating. She is the first one that tries to book the Airbnb in Tampa. It's very clear. This happens on June 21st of 2024. We had Detective Ramos say to you exactly where she was when she did that. The judge read to you the date of the crime, and for count 2, for the conspiracy count, the dates that we have to prove are between June 21st and June 23rd of 2024. And there are several locations that are involved in the conspiracy, but the first one is where she is located when she sends this. And she is not with the defendant, Isaiah Chance. Isaiah Chance is miles away on his own device, nowhere near her, when she herself is trying to book all of them an Airbnb. And there is a reason why they have her booking the Airbnb. There is a reason why, when she doesn't get the Airbnb, that Rashad Murphy uses the shared phone that he does of his girlfriend, Charmaine Steiger. Because when when Charles Jones gets killed, who do you think the primary suspects are going to be? It is going to be the high-profile rival gangs that are feuding with him online. So Isaiah Chance can't book the Airbnb with his phone. So Rashad Murphy doesn't use a phone. He's known as Ghost. He uses the shared phone of Charmaine Steiger, because they know when law enforcement officers come looking and they know who's certified in a gang, that the first thing that they are going to look for is the usual suspects in this rival gang war. So Charles Jones isn't going to use his own phone. He's going to use the cover of his girlfriend. Just like Rashad Murphy isn't going to use his own phone, he's going to use Charmaine Steiger's phone. This is what they do because they want to ensure after this happens that they don't get caught. They also get rid of all of their phones because they don't want any sort of evidence to be linked and tracked back to them. So she says on June 21st of 2024 that she wants to book an Airbnb. She wants more than one bedroom, like two. And that doesn't fall through, or that falls through. And so Rashad Murphy on his phone, this is the phone that is confiscated in Rashad Murphy's possession when he flees from law enforcement in that silver Chevy Cruze, when he is found later by the Gwinnett County Police Department when they have put out an alert for that vehicle. And so he is the one on his phone, the extraction from his phone. There is the actual booking of the Airbnb that they end up using. And it is no mistake, it is no coincidence that this Airbnb on Gazebo Pond Lane is within miles, just a couple of miles of where Charles Jones, the victim in this case, is shot and killed. It is in no coincidence that that Airbnb is only within a couple miles of the two very clubs that he is going to be performing at or going to be at in Tampa, at Teasers and at Truth 18. And so the other location for count 2 of the indictment that we have to prove is that it was within a 10-mile radius of both Truth 18 and of Teasers. And those addresses are both in here listed as well. 4819 East Bush Boulevard, as well as 9700 North Nebraska area. I'm sorry, North Nebraska Avenue. Both of those locations are within Hillsborough County. The other address as part of this conspiracy is the Airbnb itself, that they were within a 3-mile radius of 3703 Gazebo Pond Lane, Tampa, Florida, County of Hillsborough. And the last and final address of that conspiracy is 11606 McKinley Drive, which is the address of the Home to Suites, as well as the address of Rashad Murphy, that phone, when this Airbnb is booked. And that is another Jacksonville address that you will see on this date of the crime, where it says, sorry, I'm going to go to the address, 301 Caravan Circle, Jacksonville County, also state of Florida. And the final one is the house of Sean Gathright, 13751 Victoria Lakes Drive, Circle, Jacksonville County, Jacksonville, Florida, also County of Duval. Those are all the addresses of where acts that occurred in this conspiracy. And that is what we have to prove, and that is what we have proven. That is why Detective Ramos testified to exactly where this device was when they sent out this request to book the Airbnb and had it confirmed. and he had to send his driver's license to in order to secure and book that Airbnb. You have seen the search warrant that was executed on Sean Gathwright's house afterwards. And these firearms, there were 2 assault rifles that were taken. And they were collected and they were sent to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement for testing. You saw the brass catchers, evidence in this case. All of this leads back to this first-degree premeditated murder and conspiracy to kill Charles Jones. What you saw in the video, the type of firearms that were used in this case, 2 of the shooters had assault rifles that had brass catchers on it, and they lead directly back to Sean Gathwright. His path was followed. We know where he went in the black Chevy Impala after leaving that Airbnb. There is video evidence of all 4 defendants, Davion Murphy, Isaiah Chance, Sean Gathwright, and Alicia Andrews all were at that Tampa Airbnb. The only one who wasn't was Rashad Murphy. But because he took an Uber, we know he was at that Tampa Airbnb as well, because we see the Uber dropping them all off at Sean Gathwright's house. And you heard the testimony from the Uber driver, and he testified that the 3 people that he picked up at that Airbnb are the exact same 3 people that he dropped off. And then after we see Sean Gathwright leave, he's the one that takes the Chevy Impala to his grandmother's house in Auburndale. And then he switches vehicles because, again, he does not want to be caught driving the vehicle that contains the 3 shooters who gunned down Charles Jones in Jacksonville, Florida. So he switches vehicles. He leaves that vehicle at Grandma's house. And what does he do? He wipes down the entire car. He is getting rid of fingerprints. He wants to make it look like none of his friends were in that vehicle. They are very smart. They are very sophisticated. Those 2 shell casings, they are not from rifles. They were not fired by the guns that had those brass catchers on it. What those are 9mm shell casings. The only brass, the only casings that were left here at this homicide was 9mm. That firearm that had the switch that made it fully automatic, the one that you saw in State's Exhibit 22, the first gunman to fire directly at the windshield of the victim's vehicle, was a firearm. It was a 9mm, and it unloaded 31 shell casings onto the ground at that homicide scene where Charles Jones was murdered. And all of those shell casings were recovered. And you heard how 30 of them, they tried to get DNA off of them, were packaged specially and sent off to ATF. One of them was kept for Tampa Police Department to submit for analysis and comparison. And they did. They compared it to these 2 spent shell casings in the safe of Sean Gathwright's house. And they are a ballistic match. You heard from Amara Drew. She testified that she compared both of those shell casings to the one that was found at the murder scene and retained by Tampa Police Department for testing. And the same firearm that fired those 2 shell casings that were ejected out of the 9mm are a match and ballistically identified to the same gun that was shot that you saw on that video, State's Exhibit 22, firing into the windshield of Charles Jones's car. You also heard about the spent shell casings that were recovered from Jacksonville, from the Toyota 4Runner of Sean Gathwright. Remember all of those shell casings that were collected. States Exhibit 50 and States Exhibit 49A through I. Both of those shell casings were collected and submitted to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Some were from the Toyota 4Runner in that box. Do you remember the photograph of the box? And then they went and they retained from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office the shell casings that were recovered from the October 7th, 2023 attempted murder of Charles Jones. And they compared those shell casings. And those shell casings, again, analyzed by Amar Drew, and they were matched, ballistically matched to the same firearm. They both were shot by the same assault rifle. The other part of the ballistic evidence that you heard about were the fragments that were recovered from the medical examiner's office. And they were sent to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement to be compared against the two rifles, the two assault rifles that were collected in this case from that safe in Sean Gathwright's house. And what Amar Drew could tell you is from that fragment that one of them was found that it did not shoot that projectile. So one of them did. The other one was inconclusive, and that meant there wasn't enough detail on that projectile, that fragment that was found in the victim's body to say that it was or to say that it wasn't. So those two assault rifles absolutely can be the assault rifles that were used in this case. They match the appearance. They have the brass catchers on them that we saw was used in this crime. And because we don't have any spent casings, which again is part of their plan to make it difficult to link the firearms to this case, we cannot compare brass casings because there were none left at the scene. But there is definitely evidence in that scene in Sean Gathwright's house that are connected, and those are those 9mm that were found in that safe along with those two AR rifles. That is why you heard from Amar Drew, and that is why all of that evidence was brought down from Jacksonville, because it ties these defendants to the homicide here in Tampa and the attempted homicide of the victim in 2023. These were all of the type of ammunition that was consistent and capable of being fired in those assault rifles, also found in Sean Gathwright's home. And when we talk about planning and conspiracy, what we're talking about, we have the video evidence to prove and show all of it, just how well coordinated. Not only was it planned ahead of time, not only did they talk about it ahead of time, there was coordination each and every time. This was a mission to kill Charles Jones, and there was an assault hit team, and there was a surveillance team that the defendant was a part of. And again, when we talk about using her for cover, she was a part of it. She was an active participant. She's not just sitting in the car. She has a role to play. Her play is that she is going to give Isaiah Chance cover. They know who Isaiah Chance is. You heard from Robert Howard there. If he would have saw or recognized Isaiah Chance alone in the parking lot in Tampa in the same vicinity of his friend Charles Jones, they absolutely would have known that they were in danger. He wants to blend. That's what she is. She's covered. That's what they do. They use their girlfriends, and she is an active, willing participant, and she has protected him in that interview with law enforcement and on that stand today, and she continues to protect him. And the